Mamas, are you struggling to find the right products to use for your little one's hair? Are you walking into the shops and blindly buying products, hoping that this time you found the right one? Or have you become a product junkie because you're buying product after product and nothing seems to be working? If that is you, this video is for you. In today's video, I'm going to be talking you through how to choose the right products for your little one's hair that is actually going to work, and hopefully this video is going to help you save some coins. Hey mamas, welcome back to my channel. Okay mamas, so in order for you to be able to select or choose the right products for your little one's hair, it's so important that you understand what you're working with. Whenever I'm speaking to the mamas that I work with, I always tell them that if you don't know what you're working with, how are you supposed to care for it? It's going to be so difficult. In order to understand what we're working with, we have to understand our little one's unique hair characteristics and their hair type. Okay mama, so now let's look into hair type. Now before we get into hair type, mamas, no, you do not have to worry about porosity unless you have a gas absorption machine in a lab, and these machines are very expensive. Unless you have this to accurately test your little one's porosity, you are wasting your time. And no, the water test where you pop some strands of hair into water isn't accurate unless you are, for example, a professional that is, dyeing, bleaching, relaxing your little one's hair, and hopefully you're not doing any of these things. You do not have to worry about porosity. And also when it comes to the number typing system, like 3A, 3B, 4C, 4B, again, you do not have to worry about that. I mean, up until this point, has that been helpful? A lot of you think your little one have 4C hair, which they don't. Your little one has several different curl patterns on one head. So let's scrap the number typing system and let's focus on your little one's density and strand thickness. So we're going to go into that in a little bit more detail. So what is important when it comes to understanding your little one's hair type? These things are important. Firstly, density. What is density? Hair grows out from our hair follicles, okay? These are tiny holes on the scalp. The number of hair follicles a person has per square inch on the scalp determines the overall fullness, which is density, of that person's hair. So density is how many individual strands you have on the scalp. Why is this good to know? For styling, for example, for how much products to use. If you have high density hair, you're probably going to end up using more product than someone who has a lower density. When it comes to detangling, for example, if your little one has a high density, you're going to probably have to work in more sections than someone that has a lower density. Strand thickness, again, this is something that's good to know. What is it? It's the size and thickness of each individual hair strand. Why is this good to know? It will let you know how strong or fragile your strands are. If you have fine, thin strands, your strands are more fragile than someone that has thicker individual strands. It doesn't mean those that have thick strands, their hair can't break. It just means that your little one with finer strands, their strands break more easily than someone that has thicker strands. The consistency of products to use. If someone has very fine strands, you don't want to be using heavy products, heavy creams, heavy butters. It's just going to weigh their hair down. What styles to choose or avoid. Someone who has very fine strands, having like extensions, heavy extensions, is obviously going to cause breakage because their strands are so fine. The other thing that's good to know is the characteristics of your little one's hair. So how it feels, the sheen or shine your little one has. There's some children who have hair that is more of a matte appearance, so there's not much of a sheen or shine to their hair. Their hair feels soft, but it just looks dry all the time. And I always say to moms, just because your little one's hair looks dry, it doesn't necessarily mean their hair is dry. That's just a characteristic of their hair. They have a more matte appearance, but when you feel their hair, it feels soft. You know, you might have a little one who has frizzy hair. That's another characteristic. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with their hair. Your little one's hair might experience a lot of shrinkage. Again, it doesn't mean anything's wrong with their hair. That's just a characteristic of their hair. Shrinkage is actually a good thing. It shows that their hair is healthy, has elasticity. You know, the characteristics of your low's hair, like the way it behaves. Why is this good to know? It helps you understand and accept your little one's hair for what it is. If you understand how their hair behaves or the characteristics of your little one's hair, you will not expect it to be anything else. So these are the type of things I want you to be thinking about when you're thinking about getting to know your little one's hair. Forget about porosity. These are what's important. This is what's going to help you to get to know your little one's hair better. And if you know it better, you know what your little one's hair will need. So let me give you an example, because I love giving examples. Okay, so my eldest daughter on the left here, Atara, she has a hair type that's medium density. She has medium individual strands. Her hair has, you know, some sheen to it. Her hair color is black. Now it's actually becoming a little bit blackish, brownish. But for a long time, her hair has been black. My hair is jet black, so she got that from me. Her curl pattern, she has several curl patterns. So she has curly, coily, kinky hair. Her hair is like Velcro. So this is the characteristics of my eldest daughter's hair. Her hair is like Velcro. So it likes to mesh together and can be tangle prone. And because of that, I'm able to, use certain types of products that will help her hair not to kind of mesh together all the time or want to tangle on each other, because that's just the characteristics of her hair. So I have to work with her hair in order to make it easier for me to be able to manipulate her hair, knowing this. She also deals with shrinkage, as you can see from me stretching her hair. She deals with shrinkage as well. Again, that's normal. And this is my son before I cut his hair. This is an old picture. So my son has high density hair. Okay. His hair, so the individual strands, so he has high density and thick individual strands. And because he has thick strands, his hair feels rough, wiry when I touch it. That's normal. That's the characteristics of his hair because he has thick strands. So if you were to touch my son's hair, you would probably think his hair is dry because it has that wiry feel to it. But it's not dry. His hair is moisturized, it's healthy, and it's soft. My son's hair grows outwards. If I stretch it downwards, you will see the length. His hair grows outwards. He's kind of like a lion. As the day goes on, his hair gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Which makes his hair look even fuller. He has low to medium sheen right now. When he was born, and for a couple of years, his hair was jet black as well. But he has more of a black-brown color to his hair. You know, his curl pattern, different from my eldest daughter. He has more waves, predominantly wavy hair. Then he has curly, kinky hair towards the ends. I bet you didn't know black people could have wavy hair, right? My son has wavy hair. And he also experiences shrinkage as well. He experiences more shrinkage than my eldest daughter. Can you see the example? I know their hair based on their characteristics and hair type. And this is how I want you to know your little one's hair as well. So rather than thinking there's something wrong with your little one's hair, it could just be a characteristics of their hair, you know? So mamas, in order to identify your little one's hair type, so their density and strand thickness, I have created a free download for you. This goes with this video. So if you want to look further into your little one's hair type and be able to identify their hair type, I would highly recommend that you click the link in the description box and download your free guide. The next thing that's going to help us to choose the right products for our little one's hair is by knowing what product types we actually need for our little one's hair for their regimen. Okay, now in order to do this, we're gonna have to identify these product types by function, age, and by your little one's hair needs. So for example, when it comes to their hair needs, does your little one have a lot of buildup? You know, have you been using a moisturizing or regular shampoo and you're still finding that your little one has a buildup that doesn't seem to be going away even when you shampoo your little one's hair? In this case, your little one is going to need a clarifying shampoo. So for example, for my 7, 3 and 6-year-old, I clarify their hair every 4 weeks. This is going to help remove stubborn buildup from the hair, stubborn buildup that a regular shampoo isn't going to be able to remove thoroughly. Or for example, is your little one's hair dry and breaking? If this is the case, you're gonna need conditioning products in their regimen. So for example, after you shampoo your little one's hair, we're gonna have to, you know, condition their hair. So whether that's using a rinse out conditioner or a regular, you know, deep conditioner or a mask, we're gonna have to use that after we shampoo. Now these can be strengthening deep conditioners or strengthening rinse out conditioners. For example, let's just say you have a 5-year-old and their hair is dry and it's breaking. A strengthening deep conditioner and a strengthening rinse out conditioner, for example, would be great to use after you shampoo. This is going to help to make your little one's hair, you know, smooth, soft, manageable, and also strengthen the hair and coat the hair and all of that good stuff. Also, because your little one's hair needs that conditioning, after you know, shampoo and condition their hair, we also want to use like a leave-in conditioner or a cream. These both have conditioning agents in them, as well as, you know, oils, butters, humectants, and all of that good stuff that's really going to help with that moisture retention. It's going to help to smooth their hair, it's going to help to soften their hair. And then also, you know, using our butters and oils to help seal in and lock in that moisture for as long as possible. Of course, it's not going to stay moisturized forever, but it's going to help to slow down the evaporation of moisture from your little one's hair and keep their hair retaining moisture for a little bit longer. So understanding your little one's hair needs will help you to find products to meet those current hair needs. So now let's look into product types in a little bit more detail. So product types by function and age, for example. So for example, cleansing shampoo. This can be used every wash day. What does it do? Cleansing shampoo. It cleanses, it removes oil, dirt, etc. And you can use this from newborn upwards. And then we have our clarifying shampoos. This should be used like every 4 to 6 weeks. What does it do? It gives you a deeper clean, it removes stubborn buildup. You can use this from 1 year and above. Now, guys, when I mention clarifying shampoos, you might be thinking, oh gosh, it must be really harsh or too much for a 1-year-old. No, it isn't. It's all in the formulation and the type of surfactant in the clarifying shampoo that actually makes the shampoo clarifying. It is not scary. There are so many out there, even suitable for children. This is just a deeper clean and it's going to remove any stubborn buildup from their hair. We also have our rinse out conditioners. What does it do? It mostly adsorbs. It smooths, adsorbs, it sticks to the hair. It smooths, it softens, and helps with detangling. Perfect for detangling. And you can use this from 4 months and above. Then we have our deep conditioners. You know, our regular deep conditioners, so protein-free deep conditioners. These have penetrating abilities depending on the ingredients. They adsorb, again, it sticks to the hair, smooths, it softens the hair, and also helps with detangling. You can use this from 2 years and above. Then we have our deep conditioners that are protein based. What does it do? It repairs, it strengthens, and fills in any gaps, holes, it penetrates and adsorbs, so it sticks to the hair. It smooths, it softens the hair, and it also helps with detangling. You can use this from 5 years and above. And of course, we have water. It gives the hair flexibility, makes the hair easier to manipulate, moisture, right? 0 and above, newborn plus. Our leave-in conditioners, what does it do? It conditions, some like to say moisturizes, it smooths, it makes the hair easier to manipulate and manage. It doesn't need to be rinsed out. And this is from 4 months and above. And then we have our moisturizers or our creams. Again, it conditions, it smooths, it makes the hair easier to manipulate and manage. You can again use this from 4 months and above. And then we have our butters and our oils. What does it do? It seals in moisture temporarily. It doesn't seal it in permanently. The little one's hair will dry out eventually. It doesn't condition, it doesn't moisturize. It lubricates, softens, etc. It can also even be used as a pre-poo depending on the oil or butter you're using. And you can use this from 0 plus. Of course, when it comes to newborns, you want to make sure that it is a nut-free oil, for example. Okay, so the next thing that's going to help us to choose the right products for our little one's hair is by product ingredients. Now, you don't have to be, a cosmetic chemist or to know ingredients inside out. Certain common ingredients that you're going to see time and time again in product formulation. So it's good to have that basic understanding. This is going to help us to make easier choices and informed choices when we're picking products by knowing the function of common ingredients. Remember I spoke about understanding ingredients based on their function? This is what I'm talking about. So when I'm looking for products, certain types of products, this is what I'm thinking in my head, okay? So just bear in mind that the ingredients that I'm going to mention to you, these aren't their only function, but these are like one of their functions, okay? So for example, when I'm looking for a leave-in or cream, I'm looking for water to be the first or second ingredient. Now, water, as we know, is moisture. It isn't enough. Just using water isn't enough. So of course, I'm looking for other things. So for example, I'm looking for oils and butters in the formulation. This is going to leave the hair soft and smooth. I'm looking for, fatty alcohols. Fatty alcohols lubricate and provide emollients and softness. So fatty alcohols like, cetyl alcohol, sterol alcohol, cetyl alcohol, etc. And I'm looking for these ingredients closer to the top of the list as well. I'm looking for things that's going to, condition the hair, minimize tangles, boost manageability. And these are like cationic surfactants. So these are conditioning agents. For example, benzoyl chloride, dihydroammonium methosulfate, so BTMS, centramonium chloride. You're getting what I'm putting down. These ingredients, again, I look for the ingredients closer to the top of the list or middle of the list. I'm also looking for humectants. Humectants attract moisture to the hair. Film-forming humectants as well, they hold onto moisture in the hair. So ingredients like glycerin, propylene glycol, marshmallow root, slippery elm, aloe vera. These are like great ingredients. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. These are some of the ingredients and common ingredients that I look for in a formulation. When I'm looking for a sealant, I'm looking for something that's going to slow down the evaporation of water from the hair. I'm looking for something that's going to give shine, lubrication, and softness. So butters, oils, petrolatum, grease. The dreaded grease. Grease is okay, guys. You have nothing to worry about. These are great sealants. And this is what I love to use after I use a leave-in or cream. And with sealants, there's no water content, so it won't moisturize the hair. Now, when it comes to ingredients, for me, I like to go for, especially when it comes to my children's hair, I like to go for products that have a minimal ingredients list. And this is because, let's just say they have a reaction. If the product has a minimal ingredients list, it's more easier or more likely for me to find a culprit because there's not many ingredients on the product list. Rather than buying a product that has so many ingredients, it'll just make it a little bit more harder to find the culprit. So I like to go for products that have a minimal ingredients list, just in case my little ones, and thank God they haven't had any reaction to any products so far, but just in case they did, like I said, it'll be easier to find the culprit. Also, when it comes to choosing products for our little ones, we have to consider sensitivity, so allergies for example. You want to be mindful and look through the ingredients list and make sure that those particular ingredients aren't in those products, just to avoid any reaction. Now, if you're not aware of any allergies or sensitivities, because some of us are not aware that our little ones have any, allergies or sensitivities until we actually use the product. So for example, if you have a newborn and you're going shopping for your newborn's hair products, I always tell mamas to avoid products that contain essential oils, for example, for newborns. Avoid fragrance products. Avoid products that contain nuts. So for example, if you're using an oil for your little one's hair, you want to avoid any nut oils for your newborn's hair. If you're new to buying hair products for your children, I will always say start off with brands that specifically formulate products for children's hair. This will be like a good starting point. Now mamas, if you've watched any of my videos, you will notice that I use a range of children, baby and adult products for my children. I'm very selective when it comes to choosing products for my children's hair, based on everything else that we've discussed already, and also based on experience. I go into a lot more detail when it comes to choosing products for your little one's hair in my membership and my VIP group coaching program. So now that we've spoken about how to choose the right products for your children's hair, now we need to look at when you actually have that product at home with you and you're about to use the product. So once you've purchased and chosen the products you need for your little one's hair, there are a couple of things that you need to do. Firstly, do a patch test before, not after. Do it before you use these products. Doing a patch test is just going to ensure that your little one isn't going to have any reaction to these products. Also, when it comes to using these products that you've purchased for your little one's hair, be sure that you're not using too many at once. Start off with possibly one product at a time, so one new product at a time. If that's okay, then move to the next one. The reason why I'm saying this is because if you have a bunch of new products that you're trying for your little one's hair, if for example there's an issue like a reaction for example or something, you're not going to be able to identify the culprit easily. Whereas if you just start off with one, for example, new product, you're more likely to know exactly which product is causing those issues. Now the next thing is we want to identify your little one's staple products. So these are products that your little one's hair loves, right? We're going to be able to do this by how these products perform on your little one's hair. So for example, when it comes to a rinse out conditioner specifically for detangling, we want to assess its performance on how well you're able to detangle your little one's hair. So for example, if the rinse out conditioner has a lot of slip and makes detangling a breeze, that is a staple product. And also mamas, when you are assessing a product based on performance, you want to understand if you're actually using the product the way it is intended to be used. So for example, if a product is a styler, it is meant to help to set a style. It's not likely going to moisturize your little one's hair. It's not likely going to soften your little one's hair. It's most likely going to create a hold, whether it be a light or a strong hold. It may even make your little one's hair feel a little bit crunchy because it's a styler, right? And not a moisturizer. So if you're looking for a moisturizer, you're looking for the hair to feel soft and smooth, for example, you're not going to get that from a styler most likely. And based on that, you may judge the performance wrongly and say it's a bad product, when in actual fact it isn't a bad product, it's just that you used it the wrong way. And also when it comes to products, when you've purchased products, understand understand that there will be an element of trial and error. Of course, it isn't going to be as much because I already shared how to select the right products for your little one's hair. However, still there will be an element of trial and error, and this is a good thing because this is going to help you to understand what your little one's hair likes and dislikes, and also help you to compare, for example, so you can find your little one's staple products. It's all part of the process, but hopefully with this video the process isn't going to be as tedious because now you have the right tools to help you find the right products for your little one's hair. If you want to see my staple natural hair products for my children's hair, check out the video showing right now on the bottom left hand corner of this screen. See you next one. Take care. Bye.